Good morning. Welcome back to the course of data structures using the C language. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the stack data structure. Now, what is the stack means? It is nothing but it is an algorithm, but it is an abstract data type or which is set of rules. So here, what is the use of stack? We use it just to store the information. And in some situations, if we follow the rules of the stack so that we can access the information effectively. Now let us see what are the applications where we can use these stacks, and all these things we will discuss now. First, let us see what is a stack and how we can implement the stack, and then finally we will discuss the applications of the stack. So here, what is a stack? A stack is a list of elements in which an element may be inserted or deleted only at one end, which is called the top of the stack. And it is a simple algorithm that works based on the rule which is called as a last in, first out. So we call it as a LIFO. So here the elements are removed from the stack in the reverse order of what in which they were inserted into the stack. So here we are following the rule of last in, first out. So here, whatever the element we are inserting last in the memory, that will come out first. It is this simple rule what we are going to follow. And one best example where we will be using is while placing the CDs. That is CD stand example we can take. So here we are inserting the CDs. The CD will move like this. And here it is this is our first CD, and here this is our second CD, and this is our third CD. So we have inserted first, second and third CDs. So if we want to pick out one CD from the CD stand, then it is this third CD which will come out first, and this is called as deletion. And so here we call this particular thing as called as an deletion, and this is called as an insertion. So the stack algorithm will run with the rule last in, first out, and every stack must have a particular amount of memory block initially, and we can call this as the capacity of the stack. So here, what is the capacity and how we will decide? That is, we can decide by using either static memory allocation or by using the dynamic memory allocation. So now let us first see what is static memory allocation, which is nothing but constant memory allocation, that is fixed memory allocation. Can, can you say what we will be using in the static memory allocation? Simple. We will be using the concept of array. So we are using the concept of array. So how? For example, how we are declaring an array means int arr of 5. Here 5 is nothing but it is the size. And whenever we declare the variable like this, it will allocate the memory block which can hold 5 elements of type integer at some location, say 2046, 2048, 2050, 2052 and 2054. So this is the memory allocation. And why this memory allocation is 2046, 2048, 2050, 2052, 2054? Because we are taking 5 integer array elements. The size of the integer is 2. So in some compilers, the size of the integer is 2 bytes, and in some compilers, it is 4 bytes. That what we have discussed in C programming language. It depends on the compiler what we are using. So here in this case, we have taken the size of the integer as 2. That's the reason the base address when it is 2046, because here they are linear data structures. Arrays are nothing but they are the homogeneous data structures, will be in a sequential order. So it is 2046, 2048, 2050, 2052 and 2054. So now I want to implement the stack. Of course, we are going to implement the stack by using the array concept only. So just we rotate the memory location by minus 90 degrees. If you can observe here, the integer type of elements we are storing, and the name is stack. So there is only the difference here int, the type is here also int, here it is array, here we have given the name as stack. So of course, it is an array only, but the approach what we are going to use here is different. Here, the size also we take it as 5. So here the capacity of the stack is 5. The same memory allocation we are representing in a different way. So this will look like this with the base address 2046. Here 2048 is the next element, 2050 next stack element, 2052 next stack element, and 2054 next stack element, like this. So in this case of array, the base address of the block, in the case of the array, the base address of the block will be hold. Where it will be? So the array variable will be holding the base address. So ARR will be holding the base address of the stack. In the same way, the stack variable will be holding the base address of the block 2046. So this is what we call as an static memory allocation. So in the stack, if we are allocating the memory statically, then the size, that is the capacity of the stack, is fixed. That is, it is a constant value. Suppose if you have to implement the stack dynamically, then we have to use the concept of calloc function, malloc function, realloc function, and free function. This concept we have seen in the dynamic memory allocation DMA in C language. So these functions, what we will be using will be in the stdlib.h library file, which we need to include at the starting of the program. Now, let us see what is the use of the calloc function. So here, by using the calloc function, we can allocate the memory dynamically, of course, but with the fixed size, which we cannot change. So to change the size of the memory block, that is whether to increase or decrease the size of the block, we have to go with the realloc function. So now let us see how to allocate the memory dynamically to a stack. So here, first we need to declare an integer pointer variable where the variable name is stack. So here int pointer stack. In a static memory allocation, we are using an array with fixed size, but here now we are using a pointer variable. So here only the stack gets some memory allocated at some location. So now it is ready to accept one integer array, that is nothing but one memory block address. It is ready to hold. So how we are allocating the memory to this means how? That is by using the calloc function. So here, what is the size? The size is nothing but the capacity. So for example, if the capacity we are taking it as 5, so here we are going to store it in the stack. That is nothing but by using the size of integer. So here the calloc function will be calloc of capacity comma size of integer. So what we call this calloc function do is the capacity 5 and the size of integer 2. So 5 into 2 is 10 bytes. So that 10 bytes memory will be allocated. So it will allocate 10 bytes of memory to the block. For suppose that the base address is 2046, we should collect it into the stack so that it will be pointing to this particular one. Here, it is a stack. We are collecting this information into the stack variable. So here, the stack will be holding. So stack is equal to calloc of capacity into size of int. But the type of the stack is integer pointer. But we know that the calloc function, the return type is void pointer. That is, we call it as an generic pointer. This is what we have discussed in the dynamic memory allocation concept. That is, we have discussed clearly that what is the prototype of the calloc function and why it is returning the void pointer and how to typecache the pointers. So once please go through those videos, how the memory allocation will be done by using the calloc function. This is just allocating memory to the stack with a fixed size dynamically. So here the capacity is 5. Now suppose you can ask me, if we want to store the 6th element, then what we have to do? This is, we have to use the realloc function for what we have to write the logic. And how to write the logic, all these things we will discuss. So we can implement the stack data structure algorithm in two ways, either by using the static memory allocation concept or by using the dynamic memory allocation concept. Here static memory allocation concept means we are using arrays, and dynamic memory allocation concept means we are using the calloc function and realloc function, of course with the help of the pointers concept. So this is only just a creation, and now let us see what are the operations we can perform on the stack. So once the stack is ready, that is the stack has been created, what are the operations we can perform on the stack data? So now let us see the different operations on the stack. First one, creation of a stack either dynamically or by using the static memory allocation. Second one, we can push the elements into the stack. That is nothing but inserting the elements into the stack. So according to the terminology, we need to use the term push rather than insertion. So here, whatever we use to push, we use in the push function. So whatever the element we have to insert, that need to be passed as an argument. So whatever the element we want to push, we have to pass it as an argument. That's why it is push of int element. And next, that is the third one, pop. So here, whenever we use the pop function, here there is no need to pass an argument. So can you say me why and what is the reason? So in the stack, whenever we want to pop the element, it will always pop the last element. So whatever the element you insert last, that will come out first. That is the top of the stack will be popped or that will be deleted. And the fourth function is traverse function. Can you say me what is traverse function? Here traverse function is nothing but displaying all the elements in the stack. So here displaying all the elements of the stack is called as an traverse function. So these are the main functions what we are going to use in the implementation of the stack. And we have some more functions we will be using which are optional. That is the fifth one is empty function. Whether it is empty or not, that is if the stack is empty or it contains any elements or not. And the next one is full function, sixth one. And the seventh one is how many elements are there, that is length of the stack, or simply we can say the size of the stack. So here writing logic for all these functions is called as an stack implementation. Once if we implement all these things, then the stack is ready. So with the help of that stack, we can store the information effectively into every program or programming application so that we can process the information effectively. First, for example, if we are creating a stack with size 5, we are creating the stack either if you want to push the elements or pop the elements from the stack. That is possible only through the top of the stack. So any operation you can perform with the help of the top element only. From top only, either we are inserting or deleting the element. That is nothing but either we push or we pop. For suppose you are pushing the element 10, then the stack will look something like this. And then if you push 20, then the stack will look like this. Now suppose if you are using the pop function, then can you say me which element will be popped? So here 20 will be deleted. Then it can have only 10 which will be present in the stack. Suppose you are pushing 30, 40 and 50, then the stack will be like this. So when you push 30, it will be like this, 40 like this, and when you push 50, it will be like this. So here, now again, if you are using the pop and pop operation, then the stack will be something like this. Since 50 will come out, and if you already inserted all the five elements, then you cannot push the sixth element. Of course, if you use the static memory allocation. If you would have used the dynamic memory allocation, then you can increase the capacity of the stack by using the realloc function. So these push and pop operations we can perform by using the variable top. And in the next class, let us see how to write the logic to perform all these 4 operations. Thank you for listening to my video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest notifications.